Good morning, everyone. Adam Welch here with Insurance Agency Marketing Services, and joining me today is Gary Voith with Baltimore Life, and we've got a great presentation put together for you. Gary's going to take us through and give us a great look at Baltimore Life's competitive portfolio of single premium life products. Single premium life continues to be a strong part of our business here and strong part in the business with our advisors out there. So definitely a need for single premium life, the wealth transfer, and some of the unique features that Baltimore Life has included in their products. And it couldn't be a better timing for this presentation. So we're really excited. We think we got a lot of great information put together here for you. So do appreciate everyone taking some time out of your Friday mornings to join us here on these webinars. Before I get things going and hand things over to Gary, just want to take a moment, visit about some quick housekeeping items. First of all, as we go through the course of the presentation, if there's any questions at all, please don't hesitate to type those in your question box on the control panel there on your screen and send those over. We will stop here and take a look at questions throughout and address those again at the end if there's any questions that come in later. So please don't hesitate to ask away. Additionally, we are going to have a couple of poll questions that you'll see pop up on your screen here, and your participation in those polls is greatly appreciated. Be a great opportunity to request some additional information on some of the great items we have here for you at IAMS. So if they would be of interest to you, please do respond to that poll question, and we can get that additional information out to you. With that, as I mentioned before, I hand things over to Gary. I want to make sure that everyone's well aware of the great rewards and incentives we have available for you here at IAMS. So those of you, the existing advisors with us here at IAMS, and those of you that may be new to us, want to make sure you are well aware of everything we have available for you to take advantage of. So the first item I want to visit about is a couple of our business builders here, as we call them. We have our Refer Producer Bonus Program and our Marketing Reimbursement Program. This is really a great way to take advantage of some of these incentives here and put a little extra cash in your pocket. So starting with the Refer Producer Program, you all out in the field, the highest compliment you can receive and the most qualified lead you could receive out there is a referral. Referral from an existing client or someone in your network. It's really, as I said, the highest compliment you could receive. And I don't care, how much you're paying for your lead program. A lead is still a lead. A referral is a warm lead from someone doing business with you and that trusts you. So the same holds true with us here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services. We greatly value referrals. We take them as the highest compliment we could receive, and we want to encourage you to make introductions and pass referrals along to us. So how this program works: if you send us the name of someone in your network, a coworker, whatever the case may be, that's not currently doing business with us here at IAMS, we will cut you a $50 check right when that referral contracts with us, just for passing their name along. After that, once they start doing business, that's when the real cash can start to accumulate for you. So you can see in this example here, just using rough numbers, all business that referral writes with us, we're going to pay a 20 basis point override on that business. So let's say you refer over 3 producers over to us, and all 3 of those producers are $1 million single premium life and annuity producers with us. That's going to equate to an extra $6,000 in cash in your pocket just for making that introduction and passing their information along to us. So we want to reward you for that and encourage you to pass folks along to us. And it's important to note that override, that's not coming out of your referrals commission. That's not coming out of your commission. That's coming from our pocket directly to you as a thank you for making that introduction. So please keep that in mind, and let us know if there's anyone out there you feel would benefit from working with us here at IAMS. Additionally, we also have a marketing reimbursement program, and this is a great way to potentially cut your marketing expenses in half. So how this works, basically, again, just using rough numbers, every $100,000 in premium you write with us, be it annuity premium or single premium life, we will set aside $200 in marketing reimbursement funds in an account for you, and that is your money to use how you see fit, as long as it's those expenses are related to marketing yourself, building your business, and increasing your business. Send us receipts for those expenses, and we will cut you a check for up to half of those expenses based on what you have in that account. So certainly the more business you write with us, the more consistent you write with us, the bigger that account's going to grow for you, and the bigger pool of funds you'll have to use in those marketing expenses. So keep that in mind there. Great opportunity to, again, potentially cut your marketing expenses in half. Our new producer bonus program, this is a great program for new producers with us here at IAMS to take advantage of, and this is a little way of us saying thank you for your first pieces of business. So how this program works, there are 3 different levels you can choose to cash in at. So based on the business you write with us in your first 6 months of becoming contracted with one or more of our carriers, if you hit $100,000 in premium, placed and paid premium in your first 6 months of doing business with us, you can see those 3 great rewards you can choose from. By far the most popular is that $750 cash bonus, and then runner up there is a 2-year subscription to a website. So we'll create a website for you, and it'll be paid for 2 years. If you have more than $100,000 in those first 6 months, and you can hit that $300,000 level and choose not to cash in at $100,000, those rewards get a little bit better. So we can set aside a $2,000 marketing reimbursement funds in that marketing reimbursement account for you, and that $750 cash bonus goes up to a $1,500 Visa gift card. If you have more than $300,000 and you can hit that $500,000 level in your first 6 months, the rewards continue to get better. So we have some great business builders for you at that $500,000 level in the form of seminar systems with 2 of our elite producers, Matt Gill or Dave Pemper. They've developed their own seminar system for their personal production, their business. It's what they've used to generate their level of production and take their business to that elite level with us here at IAM. So there are 2 different seminars. You can choose between one of those with either Matt or Dave. Get a generous mailer to help fill that seminar room, and get some great coaching with either of those elite producers. Additionally, you could also choose to customize your own getaway with the Ritz-Carlton travel package. So some great bonuses there. Again, rewarding those of you that are new to us here at IAMS based on your business you write with us in the first 6 months. Another way of us saying thank you for that business and placing your trust with us here at IAMS. We really pride ourselves on the service and the back office support we provide the independent agent. You all out there in the field as an independent agent, your job is not easy. We understand that. We recognize that. We want to help make your life easier and help you work smarter, not harder. We want you to be more efficient out there in the field so you can concentrate on what matters most to you, and that's building relationships and making sales. So we have a great staff here, very well equipped to help you with everything from, as we like to say, submission to commission support. So everything on the pre-sale side, helping you with case design, product selection, running illustrations, getting quotes, and getting all the forms out to you. Once the business is written, you submit it in to us. We have a great team of case managers that will scrub that business for you, make sure everything's going to be in good order before it hits the carrier to cut down on processing time. Then they'll keep pushing the carrier to make sure things keep moving along on that business and make sure it gets issued and placed as quickly as possible so we can get you paid as quickly as possible. Have access to top sales expertise and coaching, and then some forms and contracting available at your fingertips. We do have paperless contracting here, making it extremely easy to get up and running with carriers here with us, as long as they support paperless contracting. And I will mention here, Baltimore Life today does support paperless contracting. So after we go through Gary's presentation, if you want to get up and running with Baltimore Life, those of you already on paperless contracting, it's as simple as letting us know. So again, helping you work smarter, not harder, and being more efficient out there in the field. We want to shoulder a lot of that admin work for you. Also, IAMS does have a creative services department here. So everything from brand strategy and building a logo and building a brand or possibly rebranding, we can assist you with that. We do have some turnkey solutions available, some great professionally written brochures and handouts to keep on hand, possibly keep in the lobby. We can customize that with your information and they're ready to go. A very quick turnaround time on that. So I mentioned those agency solutions. We can help you with logo design and brand building solutions there, and then digital solutions. help you design a website, and help you with your social media marketing strategy and email marketing. So a number of great solutions available with IAMS Creative, and we are not in the creative business to make money. So I just want to point out, we are not here to make money off of the creative services. We want to help you build your business so you can increase your production. That's the whole point behind offering that creative services. So we think you'll find us extremely competitive with your local advertising firm, and based on the business you're writing with us, it could certainly be nothing out of pocket. So Josh and Tasia and their team do a fantastic job in the creative marketing department. If you'd have some more interest in learning what we can do for you, please feel free to give us a call and ask to speak with Josh or Tasia, and they'd be glad to visit with you about solutions that we can customize for you. Our website, www.iamsinc.com. A lot of great information available right at your fingertips here. It's on our website, so it's of course going to be available 24/7. If it's after hours and you need a term quote or you need another form, we have our term quoting engine and our forms engine available on our website, along with our current life and annuity product grids and different industry links out there, so you can keep up on some of the industry trends. So a lot of great information out there. If you have not yet registered for our website to sign in and get access to this, definitely encourage you to visit iamsinc.com and sign up to register for that website so you can get access to all that great information. All right, IAMS Wealth Management. This is going to bring us to our first poll of the day here, but we have launched our own registered investment advisory, and that is IAMS Wealth Management. So very simply, here the poll should be on your screen right now. Would you be interested in learning more about IAMS Wealth Management? We added the wealth management arm to our business here for a number of reasons, but really for you there are a number of reasons to consider adding fee-based asset management to your business and becoming an investment advisor representative with IAMS Wealth. We have a streamlined process in place to help you, if you're not currently Series 65 licensed, to help you get up and running. But some of the reasons to look at considering adding adding fee-based asset management to your business and wealth management to your business, clients are going to view you as more of a holistic advisor. So you're no longer just the insurance and retirement advisor. You're now their wealth advisor, their wealth manager. So you're going to see an increase in your revenue. The assets you have under management, you're going to be earning fees on those assets, and that's going to be recurring revenue. So it's no longer just the transactional sale. This is recurring revenue based on those assets under your management. Likely, you're also going to see an increase in your fixed and insurance business as well. So again, going back to that holistic point of view, you can handle more of your clients' concerns and address those concerns yourself without having clients needing to be spread out between multiple advisors. They can bring that all into you with their wealth management in addition to their insurance and safe income solutions. You're going to improve your client retention, being able to offer a full range of products and services, and that's going to go a long way in terms of strengthening client relationships and strengthening those existing relationships you have. Gives you a great opportunity to go back out and introduce them to this new service you have available. So we have designed IAMS Wealth Management to be as advisor friendly as possible. So with our strategic partnerships we have in place, you don't have to worry about the watching the market and making the trades and doing all of that back end work. Again, our whole goal here at IAMS is to help you work smarter, not harder, and that carries over into IAMS Wealth. So really, we've designed it so you can just be focused on being asset gatherers rather than the full asset manager. We have our relationships in place that take that off of your shoulders, and you can just focus on the things that matter, and that's meeting with clients, meeting with prospects, building those relationships, making those sales, and gathering those assets. So if you'd like more information, please respond yes to that poll question or give us a call and ask to speak with the wealth department. Charles R. Hiring and Mike Hansen be more than happy to visit with you about what we have available and visit with you about how we can bring you aboard. So thank you to those of you that did respond to that poll. We will get some additional information out to you. And go ahead and close that and keep us moving here. Okay, this is actually going to bring us to our second poll, and that is regarding our Life and Annuity Academy. This is just an extremely popular event here that continues to receive consistent rave reviews here. So this is our all expense paid Life and Annuity Academy. We usually hold several of these meetings throughout the year, but this is a great opportunity to join other folks out there in the field and get face-to-face with some of our elite producers. This is all expense paid, as I mentioned, so we'll take care of your travel expenses, meals, lodging. All of that is taken care of by us here at IAMS. It just costs you a couple days out of your time. We know that's expensive in and of itself. That means that's 2 days you're not out there in the field making those sales and building those relationships. So we want to load you up with as much information as possible during those 2 days. And I just will say this is not your typical product roadshow where we're going to go over product A versus product B and go through the ins and outs. This is more geared towards giving you sales ideas and marketing strategies and sales concepts that you can implement, actionable information that you can implement in your practice to take your business to that next level and increase your levels of production. So we're going to bring out several of our top producing advisors out there to go over their strategies and their systems and how they've built their business to the point that it is today. So some of that's going to include seminar marketing, building their business around a unique trust product, and then going through some different large life case marketing. We'll go through, of course, some product info and give you updates on the life and annuity industry trends and give you an update on the overall industry there, go over some of the large life case marketing. So get you in front of some larger premium life cases and business insurance cases. So your key man, executive bonus, buy-sell arrangement, some of those larger premium cases. Go over some different wealth transfer tools, including single premium life and all the resources we have available for you for single premium life and transition your business into offering wealth transfer options. And then some other software tools out there. So our retirement analyzer software that we make available to contracted agents, along with some other pieces of software that you can implement in your business and help you increase your levels of production. So there's a lot of information thrown at you, and our hope is that maybe one or two of those items is going to stick that you can take back to the office with you and implement and see an increase in your overall production. So give us a call. Let us know you're interested. Better yet, respond yes to this poll, and we will get some additional information out to you. Certainly not a commitment if you do respond yes, not a commitment to attending one of these meetings, but that'll get you on the list to keep you updated when we get our future dates announced and set, and visit with you about what we can do to bring you out there. So that is our all expense paid Life and Annuity Academy. I'm going to go ahead and close that poll out. Thank you to those of you that participated in that poll. We will get that information out to you following the presentation. And the last item I want to visit with you about quickly before I turn things over to Gary is our 2018 Marketing Summit. So we are still in qualification. We have a little bit of time for qualification, but February 25th through the 28th, we'll be taking a group of advisors out to the Boulders Resort and Spa in gorgeous Scottsdale, Arizona. Fantastic location, fantastic resort. There's phenomenal golf and tennis on the property. They have 2 golf courses on the property, along with an incredible spa and some great restaurants out there. So really a great opportunity to join us, get some good rest and relaxation, a little bit of education, and celebrate a good year's worth of work. So that is our 2018 Marketing Summit at the Boulders. Give us a call. Let us know if you're interested in making that trip. We can go over the details with you. So with that, I am going to hand things over here to Gary with Baltimore Life, and he's going to take us through Baltimore Life's single premium life product portfolio and all the great features out there and what's available with you, to you from Baltimore Life. So with that, it's all yours, Gary.
Well, thank you very much, Adam, and good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. My gosh, the weekend is here. Thanksgiving's upon us, and before you blink, Christmas will be here. But I know all of you are interested in ending the year strong and starting your 2018 off on the right foot. So hopefully today we'll be able to share with you some ideas on product and marketing that you can in fact do that. Of course, the incredible support that you get from IAMS has been a great partner to us, and I know they're a great partner to you with all the incredible support that they offer you. That Boulder trip looks mighty nice, guys, so hopefully you get a chance to partake in that and enjoy. Today's session, we're going to be talking about Baltimore Life's tax-efficient asset transfer program. And during our program today, we're going to feature our two products in that portfolio, our Generational Legacy and Single Premium Whole Life product. Both of these products are really designed for your senior clients in mind who have what we like to call some leave-behind money, money they don't necessarily need to live on, but they want to leave it behind, thus creating a legacy in a tax-efficient way for their families or favorite charities, and increase their estate by doing it. No matter whether you have money in after-tax cash vehicles or in qualified funds or annuities, we have a vehicle that can support those types of transactions and opportunities for you and your client. So what about this market? It's absolutely huge. It's about $1 to $3 trillion in wealth that's swirling around out there each and every year that's being transferred to the next generation. $1 to $3 trillion every year that's being transferred. We know that about 55% of your client's wealth is moving on to their family members, and about 16% of that wealth is moving on to their favorite charities. So yes, 71% of your client's wealth is moving on to people and organizations they know and love. The question is, are they maximizing the amount they can pass along, and are they really doing it in the most tax-efficient way? Well, the first product we're going to talk about today is our Generational Legacy product. And this is really, in fact, designed for those clients who have single premium funds not needed for daily living that are either in non-qualified deferred annuities or other qualified plan funds, 401ks, IRAs, 403bs, and the like. Obviously, the goal here is the client wants to increase their estate value, pass it along tax efficiently through the use of a life insurance product. The issue age availability we'll be talking about is 60 through age 80. And this product, by writing a single application, Baltimore Life will issue two products: a single premium immediate annuity that will receive the transfer of those funds, along with a limited premium payment whole life product. Both products, once issued, will seamlessly be administered together by Baltimore Life for your client and you, so that all the benefits we'll talk about will be rendered. We have simplified underwriting through 4 tables of underwriting, and also this product automatically issues our accelerated death benefit rider in all states where it's approved, and that's the high majority of states, which obviously can provide living benefits to your client when they're needed most. And we'll talk about those. So what about this qualified marketplace? It's also huge. About $2.7 trillion of in-force deferred annuities are out there right now. About 65% of the money is in those tax-qualified employer-based plans that obviously those people, like me, like many of you, are going to try to find ways to have a distribution of those funds for income. And then there's some income monies they won't need for income, but they want to pass it along to create a legacy. Then you have about 35% of that $2.7 trillion that are in those non-qualified deferred annuities that you're selling. Many of those seniors, in fact, buy annuities for not only growth in a tax favorable basis, but also for an income stream later on. But as you know, a significant share of this money isn't going to be used for income. It's just a way to get a better rate of return on a tax favorable basis, and they just want to transfer it along to the next generation. As we also know, at 70 and a half, if they're not doing anything with those funds, they're going to need to take a required minimum distribution anyway. And finally, ultimately, if they die or when they die, when they pass that money along to the next generation, that tax burden is also going to be passed along to a family member that's probably in a higher tax bracket. So we know annuities are great products. There's no disputing that. But at the end of the day, if your client's only goal is to pass that money along to the next generation, is it really the best product to die with? And we really think there is a better solution when that goal is there, and that is our Generational Legacy product. I want you to think of Generational Legacy as a gift your client's trying to pass along to the next generation. And inside this gift box, you're going to help facilitate for your client the transfer of funds, again, from annuities or qualified plan funds. Full or partial transfer, of course, are allowed. Once we have you write a single application with us, as I mentioned, we will issue two products. a single premium immediate annuity that received that transfer of funds, along with a limited premium payment whole life product. Now, over a period of either 7 or 10 years, depending on the issue age of the client, Baltimore Life will automatically make annual premium payments from the SPIA to pay premiums on the life insurance product. So what dictates that payment pattern? It's the issue age. If a client's 60 to 74, we'll issue a 10-year payout on the SPIA along with the 10-year paid-up life product. Client 75 to 80, 7-year payout on the SPIA along with a 7-year paid-up life product. Now, here's where the benefits really get rich. What if your client were to die during the period of years while the SPIA is automatically funding the premiums for the life product? Well, we know that the life insurance, no matter when death occurs and the policy is in force, that the life insurance will always pay an income tax-free death benefit to the survivor. And that income tax-free death benefit, of course, will be greater than the single premium paid. That's the basic single premium concept. But with our Generation Legacy product, you also are having the client's beneficiary receive any remaining payments from that SPIA that were not used to fund the life insurance. So the beneficiary is getting both. And that really makes this a very competitive product out there in the marketplace. So at the end of the 7 or 10-year period, the gift box is complete. The policy is essentially paid up. The SPIA goes away, it's done its job, and now that life insurance policy continues to provide an income tax-free death benefit. It continues to provide cash value growth on a tax-deferred basis, and yes, it continues to provide all the benefits of our accelerated death benefit riders that we'll be talking about. So just to recap, the issue ages are 60 through 80, and we base our pricing on current age or age at last birthday. Now, the reason this is important is that you're going to be dealing with the transfer of funds, of course, from other products and institutions. Based on that transfer process of 20 to 35 days, let's say, we will issue the policy based on the age your client is the day we receive the funds. Now, the minimum premium to get started is only $5,000. How many clients do you have out there that have, say, multiple annuities that their plan is only to just simply let those annuities ride and eventually let them pass on to their family members? These are perfect prospects for Generation Legacy. The maximum face amount that we'll issue for the life product based on that single premium paid is $450,000. Now, we do have 2 underwriting classes, non-tobacco and tobacco, and within those underwriting classes, using a simplified underwriting process we'll talk about, we will issue any risk standard through Table 4. Cash values, they accumulate in the life insurance policy on a non-participating basis. Partial surrenders, you can take partial surrenders from the life insurance policy, but they're permitted after the life policy becomes fully paid up, 7 or 10 years. Loans, though, they're available at any time from the life policy cash value at a maximum rate of 8%. So now let's talk about those living benefit riders, because they truly do provide living benefits to your client at a time when it's needed most. Please keeping in mind, though, that this rider is not a replacement for a good long-term care policy. A good long-term care policy is certainly the preferred way of providing that type of protection. But at the end of the day, we know that most seniors are not in a position cash-wise to afford long-term care insurance. Isn't it nice to know that they could have access to their life insurance death benefits as a living benefit when certain situations come up? There are 3 health event triggers that will allow your client to accelerate the death benefits on the life product through these riders. They are terminal illness, confinement to a qualified nursing home facility, and in situations of extended care, home health care, and adult daycare. Upon the decision to accelerate, and this can happen any time after issue, a lien for the amount of money that was taken through the accelerated benefit will accumulate against the death benefit and accumulate at an annual interest rate of 8%. Now, the maximum that you can accelerate is $250,000. The minimum is $5,000. But the good news is this benefit pays out once, and it pays out in a lump sum, and these are unrestricted funds. Your client can use these funds for whatever reason they deem needed. So now let's take a look at the triggers, the definitions for them, and the percentages of payout. The first rider covers terminal illness. Simply put, your client needs to be diagnosed as terminally ill with a life expectancy of 12 months or less to live. And in this case, they can accelerate up to 75% of the face amount of the life policy. The second rider covers both nursing home confinement situation and extended care situation. For nursing home confinement, they need to be chronically ill, have been so for 90 days, but they're confined to a qualified nursing home facility with the expectation of a permanent confinement. For the second portion of that rider, it's for extended care. Again, they need to be chronically ill, have been so for 90 days, but now requiring care provided by either a licensed home health care agency or a licensed or state-certified adult daycare center. In either of these situations, nursing home confinement or extended care, the client can take a maximum accelerated rate at 50% of the face amount. Now, there are about 7 states in the country that have a little different provisions on these riders where the percentages might be a little bit different. These are the maximum, and they're for the high majority of the states. But for those 7 states, there are some variances. Examples here at the bottom of the screen are Pennsylvania and Indiana that use 65% and 40% respectively. What do we mean by chronic illness as it's defined for the nursing home confinement scenarios and extended care? If the client satisfies either of these definitions, we consider them to be chronically ill. The first one is they can't perform 2 out of 6 activities of daily living. The second potential reason could be if the insured is suffering from a severe organic mental illness, such as Alzheimer's or dementia. In either definition, we consider them to be chronically ill. So now let's take a look at an example of the calculation of how these rider payouts work and how the lien process works. Here's a client who has a $100,000 face amount on the life policy. We're going to say they're terminally ill, so they're going to qualify for up to a 75% accelerated payout. They, of course, could take 75% if they're 12 months or less to live, and they would get that as a cash benefit paid. Now, we do add a $100 lien against that amount that was taken. So the lien starts out at $75,100. Now, if they were to die immediately after getting that cash, no time for interest to accrue on the lien, the remaining death benefit would be the face amount less the lien, giving you a remaining life insurance benefit of $24,900. But here's the more practical example, and that is where the client, after getting their cash of 75 grand, dies 1 year later. So now you have a year's worth of interest that accrues on that lien. So you have the face amount of 100 less the original lien of 75.1 less a year's worth of interest, giving you the remaining life insurance benefit of $18,892. So, these riders are really designed and priced to be able to provide cash now as a living benefit, but also have a remaining life insurance benefit for that named beneficiary. So could these riders technically terminate off of the policy, off the life policy where they're attached? Well, technically they could, if for some reason the insurer comes along and says, you know what, I gave you $100,000 in year 1, and I thought it was leave behind money. And now 2 or 3 years later, I said, oop, I need as much money of that back as I can possibly get. You could technically cash surrender the life policy, and the remaining payments from the annuity would be paid over a period of, say, 7 or 6 more years, however many years are left. But if you terminated the life policy, of course, it would have very little cash value at that point, but it also would end the riders. If the insured dies, we pay a life insurance benefit instead. And finally, if you accelerate this benefit, let's say into the nursing home provision at 50% payout, you can't come back and accelerate a second time. The benefit is paid once, and again, it's paid in a lump sum, and these are unrestricted funds. Now, you may say to yourself, and I'm going to go back a slide to show this, what if, looking for something here, there it is. What if I die and the life insurance benefit, the interest on that lien exceeded the remaining life insurance benefit? In this example I showed you before, where the client died after 1 year and there was $18,890 of benefit left, this client would have to live 4+ years for the interest on that lien to outrun the remaining life insurance benefit. Very, very unlikely in a terminal illness situation. And that's why for extended care and home health care situations and nursing provisions, the percentage of payout is a little less because the client's going to live longer. We never intend for the interest to outrun the remaining death benefit. If that ever by chance ever occurred, the owner of the policy has the right to repay all or part of the lien at any time to keep this qualified as a life insurance policy. Keep in mind, even though you accelerate a benefit, there is still cash value accumulating tax deferred in the life policy. And if you decide to do a lien, you cannot also have a policy loan. It's one or the other. The last thing that any company would tell you is that no matter, if the client does decide to exercise this benefit, please make sure they consult with their tax advisor. So let's look at a quick example of a potential payout. Here's a client, female, 70, non-tobacco, who's, let's say, got 50 grand in an annuity. With going into the Generation Legacy product, we will issue a life policy at a 70-year-old age female of $78,000, nearly $451. So she's already increased her estate at issue by what? $28,451. Keeping in mind that if she dies in the first 10 years, while the SPIA is funding that life insurance, any remaining SPIA benefit would be paid to her survivor as well. But what about that accelerated death benefit? Look at these cash payouts I'm showing for the 3 health event triggers. These are true benefits to any senior at end of life who has really maybe very little cash at that point, but needs some cash as a living benefit, and they can exercise it under this rider. So what else is favorable from a tax standpoint on this product? We feel it's how we deal with the transfer of funds. You could be working with a client who's transferring funds from an annuity where there's a basis and a gain. You could be transferring funds from an IRA where it was all gain, right? It's never been taxed before. Well, eventually Uncle Sam has to get paid. We know that. But the beauty of this product is if you transfer, let's say, IRA money into it, and we're going to be able to spread the tax out on this gain over 10 or 7 years, the same number of years we're using that money as premium. So you're essentially rolling the money into a qualified SPIA that's going to be used to pay premiums on a life insurance product over 10 or 7 years. So as a result, the tax is spread over the same period of time. Now, the payment we make each year from the SPIA to the life product does satisfy the RMD rules, so that's a good thing. And the last thing to remember on this slide is that we know the life insurance benefit is always there to be paid income tax free, but the remaining payments from the SPIA that are paid to the beneficiary are taxable only on the portion of the funds that were rolled over that had not been taxed before. So if that was all IRA money and there's 8 more years left on those SPIA payments when the client dies, the remaining payments from those SPIAs would be taxable. They would get a 1099 on that distribution. So please keep that in mind. Our default method of paying out remaining payments from the SPIA are annual payments. So if there were 8 years left on a 10-year payment stream when the client dies, the beneficiary would get 8 more years of payment. But the Benny could say, you know what, I want a reduced lump sum. And we can do a reduced commuted lump sum. And again, they would still get that 1099. One more thing on tax, and that is the application. Because we're dealing with the transfer of funds from other products and institutions, we have to ask the question, these are qualified funds, of whether or not the client wants a withholding of the money we're rolling over. We have to ask the question, but this product has been designed that we cannot accommodate a withholding of tax from the money that was rolled over up front. So please make sure that you check the box on the app that you say you do not want tax withheld from the annuity you're rolling over. Otherwise, we have to send everything back to you. The product just doesn't work if we have to do an upfront withholding. Not to mention the fact is the client doesn't take advantage of being able to spread the tax out over the 7 or 10 year period. So now let's take a look at premiums to death benefits. And I want you to be thinking about those prospects and clients you have out there that have money in annuities. And if you just ask the simple questions, what's their goal with the money? Is it for income or is it to pass money along? And if it's to pass money along, this is a great solution. Here's a 65-year-old non-tobacco user who has got 50 grand. And because they're 65, we're going to issue a 10-year payout on the SPIA along with the 10-year paid-up life product. For the male, the face amount would be $77,361 and change, and for the female, the face is $87,031 and change. So what did you just do for this female 65? Well, you increased her estate upon issue by over $37,000, keeping in mind that if she dies in the first 10 years, the remaining payments from the SPIA would also be paid. Now, she may say to you, well, you know, Adam, if I left that money in the annuity and I was making 3% interest tax deferred, wouldn't I be better off? Well, if she were in a 25% tax bracket, it would take her over 19 years in order to accumulate the $87,000+, which would match the face amount of the life insurance product. And always keep in mind that our life insurance benefit is paid income tax free. What about the 75-year-old? A little older, shorter life expectancy, but the numbers still look good, don't they? For the 75-year-old, we're still working with 50 grand, but because they're 75, we're going to issue a 7-year payout on the SPIA, along with a 7-year paid-up life policy. The face amount for the male, $61,516 and change, and for the female, $67,000, nearly $9. So even at 75, you've increased this lady's estate by over $17,000, and you increase the gentleman's estate by nearly $12,000, knowing that if they die in the first 7 years, the remaining payments from the SPIA would also be paid. I tell you this much, I've been marketing this product for many years, and to agents, I'm a licensed agent myself, clients love the concept, and when they understand it, you're going to find not only the opportunity to make a sale, but you should be asking for referrals early and often because it is a great product to get referrals on. So here's a ledger that you can produce from either our proposal software that you can find on our agent site or from our mobile link software. That's mobile.vaultlife.com. We'll talk about that a little later on. But here you can clearly see for the female 70 non-tobacco user who had a $50,000 annuity with a basis of $40,000, how this would work. Column 3 shows the money going in, 50 grand, and out of that money each year from the SPIA, the money went into a SPIA, of course, the SPIA would pay out a premium to the life product of $5,570 a year. Now, out of that money that was paid to the life product, nearly $4,000 of it is excluded from tax. That's based on the basis that we started with. And based on the interest factor over 10 years, the estimated taxable income that they would get a 1099 on is about $1,571. You can see in the last column the life insurance benefit of over $78,000, and in the next to last column, the commuted lump sum of the SPIA if death occurred early. So the ledger does a good job of showing it to you. You can produce it as a printed proposal, show it on your device, or again, use our mobile link software, which means you can use it on any connected device, including a mobile phone. What about forms? We try to make this process very easy. In our agent website, we have product toolkits set up for every product that you're contracted for with us. And in the toolkit, you'll go into printable application package, answer a couple of questions, and it will give you all the forms that you need to do business with us. It'll also give you a set of instructions that tells you exactly how to process your business. More importantly in those instructions, it's going to tell you that after you complete the app, not only where to send it, but how you will pick up the phone right there while you're with the client, call our call center, and we'll complete a point of sale underwriting interview and give you an immediate underwriting decision well over 90+% of the time. So you're going to be able to not only write the case, but get your underwriting done all as part of the same day's work and process with your client. That really makes life simple. In those product toolkits, by the way, you're going to find a number of other great marketing forms we have and sales support materials. Don't have time to go over all those right now, but take a look. We have just a number of great things in the product toolkit to help you. Single premium whole life, second product. This is the sister product. Same goals. Client wants to create a legacy, increase their estate value, and again, do it tax efficiently through the use of life insurance. But there's some key differences. The first of which is the origin of the funds. This product is designed to take single premium funds not needed again for daily living, but from after tax cash vehicles, CDs, money markets, mutual funds, and where appropriate, 1035 life-to-life product exchanges. The issue age, a little broader, 50 to 85, because we are dealing with after-tax cash funds. We have that broader set of issue ages. Simplified underwriting, also good news. We have underwriting through 8 tables. We'll talk about that. And we also had that same great accelerated death benefit rider with the 3 health event triggers we talked about. This rider, though, on this product gives you a little bit more flexibility of how you can access the money, and I'll show you that in a moment. So 50 to 85, again, based on current age or age at last birthday. 2 tiers of underwriting. So you're either non-tobacco or tobacco, and you can go into level 1, standard through table 4, just what you had for Generation Legacy, or we had that second level, tables 5 through table 8. A client with a few more challenging health conditions would qualify. Minimum premium to get this started, again, it's only $5,000. How many prospects and clients do you have that you're doing fact finds on where you see they have pockets of multiple CDs, right? They've got their CDs compartmentalized. Here's the money that's going to my kids, my grandkids, my church when I die. Oh, here's my vacation fund. They have it all compartmentalized. What about that senior who you approach who says, hey, Adam, I really don't need life insurance. I have a burial account set up. Well, that means one of 2 things. It either means a pre-arrangement at the local funeral home or probably a CD set up at the local bank for about 15 grand that their kids know that's the money set aside to bury them. Well, here's how that role play might work with a 70-year-old female. Mrs. Jones, you're 70. Costs are going to go up, and you're, of course, going to live many more years. What if I was able to show you a way to take that $15,000 at your age of 70 and provide your family with nearly a $25,000 income tax-free death benefit? Oh, by the way, if you became terminal in a nursing home or an extended care situation, you could access some of that money and take it as a living benefit, and we could still set it up that you still have some paid-up life insurance for your family. Is that something you would be interested in? And that's called our burial account concept, and I really can't tell you how many agents get started in the single premium business in that way. The key to success in this market is you've got to be doing good fact finds. Now, the maximum face amount for the single premium life policy is expressed in terms of the maximum net amount at risk, and that's just the difference between the face amount that we issue and the single premium paid. That gap is the net amount at risk. Cash values, again, accumulating on a non-participating basis, but here's another key difference with the single premium whole life policy. You can do partial surrenders from this policy within limits starting in the 2nd year. So starting in year 2, client could say, I want to do a 10% partial withdrawal. Year 3, 20%. Year 4, 30%. The 5th year, it's 40%. And from the 6th year forward, 100% of the available cash value can be taken as a partial withdrawal. Loans, they're available at any time, but not sure why a loan is good if you have such lucrative partial withdrawal capabilities. Accelerated death benefit riders, the same 3 health event triggers, again, we talked about that you see on the screen was the same we talked about for Generation Legacy. The same idea that this benefit is going to be paid out once in a lump sum, and these are non-restricted funds. But here's the difference. With this product and rider, you may say, or your client may say, you know what, Adam, I don't need any more life insurance. Let me accelerate as much cash as I possibly can get and end the policy. That's called a full acceleration. We can do that. Or they can say, you know what, I do need some life insurance, so let's take a certain amount of this money in cash and keep a certain amount as paid up life insurance. That's called a partial acceleration. They can do that as well. So here's how that breaks out as an example. For terminal illness, same definition to qualify, 12 months or less to live. But now if they want to do a full acceleration, they can do 95% of the face amount less a $250 admin charge. Some people will ask me if they're unfamiliar with these type riders, well, what happened to that 5%? Well, anytime for any company you're going to accelerate a benefit prior to an assumed date of death, there's a cost for doing that, right? And in this case, it's 5%. Qualified nursing, same definition to qualify, but now because they're going to live longer yet and we're advancing money a little bit more in the future of their death, the maximum accelerated rate is 90% less a $250 admin charge. And finally, for extended care, home health care, and adult daycare situations, of course, they're going to live longer yet in those situations. The maximum accelerated rate is 80% of the face, less the admin charge. Now, in any of these situations, keep in mind, if the client had a $100,000 face amount, let's say, they could say, you know what, Adam, let's keep $25,000 paid up. Let's take the other $75,000 in face and accelerate at one of these percentages so I can get some cash. That's called the partial acceleration versus a full acceleration. Same definition for chronic illness, 2 out of 6 activities of daily living, or a client suffering from a severe organic mental illness. So here's some examples: premiums to death benefits, 65-year-old male and female. You see them there, non-tobacco. For that male, for 50 grand, we're going to issue a face amount of nearly $82,000. And for the female at level 1 underwriting, a face amount of nearly $93,000. But let's not forget, we have that level 2 of underwriting, and at all ages and genders, you're going to find that the difference between level 1 and level 2 is about $5,000 to $6,000 less. That's not that much of a difference. So what did you just do for this female 65, who, by the way, was probably taking the money from a CD, making less than 1% interest and getting 1099 on it every year besides? You've increased her estate by nearly $43,000 at issue, knowing that if she said, well, if I was investing the money at 3% in a 25% tax bracket, would I be better off? It would take her 28 years just to match the increase you gave her in estate value of nearly $43,000, knowing that life insurance is always there to be paid income tax free. Here's the 70-year-old, older but little shorter life expectancy, but the numbers still look great, don't they? That male, you're increasing his estate at level 1 underwriting by nearly $24,000. And for the female at level 1 underwriting, you're increasing her estate by over $32,000. Knowing that if you have to go to a second tier of underwriting, you're only seeing about a $5,000 to $6,000 reduction. Same story on the forms. Go to our application and forms package on our agent website in the product toolkits, and you'll get what you need. And lots of other great marketing materials. In the time we have remaining, though, I've really got to talk about this because this is so important. This is the icing, this is the cherry on top of the cake, and that is our point of sale underwriting process. You've worked so hard to get in the door with that prospect, and now you've got a sale made. You know, the worst that can happen is you got to wait for underwriting to happen, right? So if you complete our application, you can then pick up the phone during call center hours and complete a 12-minute interview with our call center and your client and get an underwriting decision. They're going to be asking your client the same health questions you completed on the paper app that you're going to submit to us. The only difference is while we're re-asking those questions, we're firing off the data we need to look at from the MIB and the prescription drug database check. That's why we can give that live or immediate underwriting decision. Now, once we finish that underwriting interview, the underwriting decision is not given to your client, it's going to be given to you. You're the one that's going to communicate that to your client. We're also going to give you with a confirmation number that we ask you to write on the app that you're going to submit. Once the appointment's done, get all the paperwork to us. Obviously, that's important. But this is a big deal. Now, you may say, well, you know, I'm in California. Your call center hours are different from hours that I'm selling, or I'm selling on a Saturday and you're not open. What do I do? Well, no matter when you make the sale, you're always going to pick up the phone and call our call center. If you call our call center after hours, you're going to leave your name and number, your client's name and number, and a date and time you want us to call them to get the interview done. We will call the client. You don't need to be on the phone. We'll knock the interview out and get it completed. Again, we do not give them the underwriting decision. We're then going to call you and let you know that the interview is done and give you the underwriting decision to communicate. The phone number for our call center is 888-368-9678. The hours are 9 a.m. to 10:30 p.m., Monday through Thursday, as well as 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Fridays. These are Eastern times. We do support English and Spanish languages. Other languages are available upon request. If you have a hearing impaired client, we have TTY services in both English and Spanish. The key thing to remember is that this interview must be completed within 5 days of completing your application. How do I pre-qualify my apps? Well, we have an app for each product. And the reason we do, for Generation Legacy, you have one tier of underwriting, standards through table 4. And for that application, because we have one tier of underwriting, we have one set of medical questions, Part A. Basically, think of Part A as knockouts. If you get all no to Part A, coupled with good MIB, height and weight, and drug history, we're going to issue. If you get a yes in Part A, it means your client exceeds 4 tables of underwriting. For single premium whole life, we have 2 tiers of underwriting. So as a result, we have a Part A and a Part B set of questions. Still think of your Part A questions as knockouts. If you get a yes in Part A, it means your client does not qualify through 8 tables of underwriting. But if you're all no in Parts A and B, drug history, MIB, and RX look good, we're going to issue level 1, which is standards through table 4. If you're all no in Part A, but 1 yes in Part B, with everything else looking good, we're going to issue Tier 2, which is table 5 through table 8. So with that, the other thing that I'll show you in the remaining minutes that we have here is this screen. I've talked all along about our agent website and our product toolkit. This is a screenshot of our agent website in the top part of it, and you'll see these color boxes. These are the product toolkits, and that's where you're going to find an abundance of things to help you. One of the things I do want to point out as we are ending is this mobile link information, because even if you're not contracted right now, or you're in the process of contracting, or maybe you're contracted and haven't sold your first case, how do you get jump started quickly? Well, you know, we can get you right on mobile link. You can get yourself on that. Just simply write this address down. It's mobile.boltlife.com. It's a web address. If you're on your mobile phone, when you type that in and you get to the page, that page is going to look like that center panel, the white panel you see on your screen right now. Once you're there, hit your shortcut on your phone that will allow you to save that web address as a shortcut to your phone. That way you'll be able to launch it just like any other app. It says mobile link on it. But once you're there, you basically now have an agent guide in the palm of your hand, an interactive agent guide. Gives you the policy information, the underwriting guidelines, and an interactive rate and value calculator. Remember that ledger I showed you before for Generation Legacy? You can actually do that right on your device. It shows up very well. And these are non-illustrated products, so no signed illustration is needed. You can do everything right on your mobile phone. So please check out Mobile Link. I think you'll like it a lot. Again, there's many other things out there on the site. This happens to be the product toolkit and what it looks like. We've got, you know, marketing materials you can use and you can customize. We have agent reference materials. We have on-demand training, product-related announcements, and just a number of other things that you can use. Please, any help you need, not only for our stuff, but obviously getting ready for cases and case consultation, pick up the phone and call your friends at IMES. They do a fantastic job of helping you position yourself for success. And, you know, we really appreciate any consideration you give to working with Baltimore Life and giving us a shot of your business. I think you'll really like what you see and the service you get. And I want to thank you very much for participating in the call today. With that, Adam, I'll hand it back to you.
Great, Gary. Thank you very much for taking us through that. A lot of information there, but certainly very competitive products. So in the couple minutes we have left, do have a couple of questions want to hit that came through. First of all, one of them relating to the application process, and you know, it seems the industry's kind of trending towards e-apps. Are there e-apps available for this, or is it still the paper app and the phone interview?
Not yet. I can tell you this. In 2018, we're going to be rolling out we already have an electronic app process with live underwriting for our final expense program. In 2018, we're going to be introducing a brand new process that will expand it to many more products and just an expanded process altogether. I mean, our new process is actually going to provide a pre-app process that in less than 5 minutes, you can determine a client's eligibility before you start an app. That will not initially be available for single premium whole life, but will be available for our final expense products, our participating whole life term, and our new universal life product. Our single premium products will come on board later. There's a lot of crazy stuff with single premium products when you're dealing with rollover funds that make the electronic app a little bit clunkier. So we have to work through those to make it easier for you. But I think you're going to find by doing the paper app with the point of sale underwriting, you're going to get your decision quick, and that's the most important thing.
Absolutely. We continue to see just extremely quick turnaround times, and of course that leads to extremely happy parties on all end. So one other one I want to hit here before we sign off. Going back to the generation legacy and using that for qualified funds, will that product accept all types of qualified accounts, or is it just limited to perhaps IRA funds?
IRAs, 401ks, 403bs, and the like. So yeah, it's most of those types of funds. It's rare that we have something that we can't use. But IRAs, 401ks, 403bs, those are the general funds that we see.
Sure. Okay. Very good. All right. Well, with that, we are at our time, so I think it's time to wrap up, but we do appreciate everyone taking some time out of your Friday morning again to join us here. We know your time's valuable, and we hope you found a great value in today's presentation. And Gary, likewise, we do appreciate your time and walking us through the Generation Legacy and Secure Solutions single premium products. So,
thanks, everyone.
Yeah, with that, I will be following up with everyone here individually. So if there's any other questions that may come up after the fact, be more than happy to address those with you over the phone, and we can take it from there. But do appreciate everyone's time. Have a great rest of your Friday and a great weekend, and we will be in touch soon. Take care.